thank you so much for joining us. Please, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Claire. It's a pleasure being here. A little bit about myself. I live in Querétaro, central Mexico, the semi-desert, with my 3 boys who are 18, 15, and 14. I am a daughter and a sister. I have 7 male brothers. Not a lot of people know that, but I have 7 male brothers and 3 sons. So my life is pretty much surrounded by men. My mother lives nearby, and my father passed away earlier this year. And I do my best to go through life being a companion to people.
Thank you, Marina. That's beautiful. And I think you're here to talk to us about how you've been navigating your mother's illness. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, well, my mother has been smoking. Since she was 15 years old. She's still smoking. She's now 83. So she has an EPOC. She has an emphysema that is occupying around 95% of her lungs. So her lungs are just working at a 20% capacity right now. And she is slowly but gracefully fading away, and just like a candle, just fading away.
What have you found helpful as your roles have reversed, as you've begun to take care of your mom more?
What has been helpful for me has been slowing down and letting go of any expectation of what I could expect from her. So, in other words, I have let go of the mother she was and the mother I wanted to have. It's like coming fresh to the moment and letting the roles go, letting go of any role that ever was or ever has been, and just becoming present to what is needed in this moment, what this moment needs of me, and what the person in front of me is needing from me. Slowing down and letting go of any ideas of how things should be. Again, meeting reality as it is being, beyond any judgment on my part in it. It has helped. It has helped looking at her as if she were a child. It has reminded me so much of my experience with my kids when my kids were born. Like, you are absolutely in the unknown. You don't know how to take care of a baby, what they might need. You are trying to guess what they are crying for, or what it could mean, what is behind it. And you don't have a story of what they should need or how they should be. So bringing I don't know with me, and becoming present to what is needed. I think that has helped a lot. Compassion For her, yes, but for myself also, because I keep getting it wrong too. And patience. Listening to myself for what I need. When I need silence, when I need a bath or a break, and actively looking for it. And understanding that I will never have everything she needs. I will never be able to provide everything she needs, and being okay with that. Another thing that has helped has been realizing that I can use my emotional and mental capacities to blame or complain, or I can use them to solve, resolve, be present, help. And at any given moment, I can feel it when it happens, when I start blaming, when I start allowing frustration to take over the moment. And realizing how useless that is. Going back to presence and love, and what can be done. The spaces around the problem. My kids were learning to drive recently, one of them, and the teacher kept explaining to him, if you ever find an accident, do not focus on the accident, look on the spaces around it, because then your wisdom will naturally take you to a way to avoid that. And so realizing when I am focusing on the problem instead of relaxing into the possibilities around it. And asking myself that question. What do I want to do with me, with my possibilities, with what I can do? Asking for help. That has helped a lot. Asking for hugs, asking for a friend to have a coffee, asking for space, asking for a wild night out, asking for whatever is needed. It's not easy to recognize when you need the help, but it's important. It's important. Maybe the thing that has helped the most has been, I don't know what the word is, maybe decanting the situation to get to the truth of why I am doing this. Why am I choosing to care for her, and realizing that it's because I want to, not because I have to, that it is a choice. And that if I had other choices, I would still want to be there with her and for her. To me, being a companion to my mother as she is dying is being a privilege. I consider myself blessed to be able to witness that and to be a companion with her through that, and to love her through the experience of death. I wouldn't miss it for the world. There is so much. Yes, there's a lot of learning and there's a lot of all the things, but there is so much. It feels like my heart is breaking open. But as it breaks open, it is just more capable of love and more capable of love. And yes, it breaks, but it is filled with so much love that it makes the experience sweet and tender and just so delicate, fragile. She is surrendering, and I am surrendering with her.
I just want to say, Marina, that's so beautiful. Thank you.
It's such a different, radically different experience. You know, my father passed away like this in a day, unexpected. He was just gone. And there's a beauty to that too. There's a grace to that too. But being able to be there day after day after day and seeing the tiny little changes and the tiny little nuances that happen as someone is surrendering. It really is a privilege.
What have you found has been most helpful to your mom?
No judgment. No judgment and no not trying to get out of her what I want to get out of her, but meeting her where she is and seeing that given where she is at, she is doing the best she can. She's also doing the best she can. And understanding that, but seeing it really through and through. Allowing her to be where she is. Allowing her anger and her frustration and her sadness and again, loving her through that. Asking her a lot of questions, asking her a lot of questions about the beauty that she has seen in her life. Looking for excuses for her to remember everything good. Not demanding anything, but bringing the invitation for her to harvest the bounty of what she sowed in her life. Not not having taboo topics, like whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about that. You know, that not, no, we don't talk about that, because no, we do, because you are at the threshold, and you need to be free to go anywhere and remember anything and talk about anything, and just express whatever needs to be expressed. And boy, not taking things personally. Not taking things personally, because at the threshold, the expression can become a very harsh thing as well. And so understanding that it is being their path, it is being their experience, their ride. It's not about me. What is about me is what I am bringing to the table. Whether I am bringing judgment or compassion, restriction or freedom, possibility or negation. Love. Whatever love means in that moment.
What would you say to somebody who is overwhelmed by their feelings at this time?
I think there are two ways to go about it, and they seem radically different. I think one of them would be, it's going to sound horribly harsh, but trust me, it's not. So it's like there will be time to grieve. Now it's time for presence. But the truth is that it's always time for presence. I find that what has helped me with the grief and the sadness has been presence. And it is not a procrastination of grief. It's not really saying, oh, there will be time for tears. It's recognizing that there will be tears, but there is no need to think about that right now. When I come back to presence, there is just gratitude. Gratitude for the possibility of this moment with her, gratitude for the possibility of being a companion to her through this, gratitude for the possibility of witnessing, being a witness to her.
I can relate to what you're saying. In the sense of when my own father died, I think it was many years ago, and I think I was too caught up in my sadness to be present. And now, in hindsight, there were many moments that I missed for connection because I was so wrapped up in my own emotions.
Yesterday, I was sitting with her. I was sitting with my mother, and there was this moment in which I said something, and she went, but it was like a fraction of a second. She went up, but I was present enough to notice it. And so I asked her, what? No, I just remembered something. No, what? Tell me what you remembered. And then she started laughing and she started singing this ridiculous song from when she was a little girl. And then she started laughing more and more and remembering more and more songs. But it was just that tiny moment in which she went, and it could have passed unnoticed. And at another moment, she was sleeping, and she was pale, gray, white, looking already dead. But she was breathing so softly, and I was caressing her hair. And there was so much beauty in just that moment. So much to be grateful for in just that moment. Presence, breath, touch, hair, the way the light was caressing her face. I don't know what I will remember years from now. But God, I hope I remember that. I hope I remember those moments of laughter and song and silence and stillness. It's such a privilege. Such a privilege. Just to be there.
That was exactly the experience I had with in fact, all of my grandparents, that I found myself wanting to spend time in their last moments here as much as possible. And my grandmother passed away, my last grandparent passed away earlier this year, and I would go and see her every day, just to be with her and connect with her and just kind of be present around her. Like there's just an energy and a experience of just being connected in the same space as her, which I can't describe other than just kind of being present with them and her. And those are the memories that I do have of her, but also of my other grandparents who passed away, many years ago.
You ask me how the relationship has changed with my mother. It has changed throughout our lives, and it is still changing, and it will keep changing after she's gone. But I don't want to miss it. Go, God, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss a thing. Like the song says, I don't want to miss a thing. I sometimes wish I could be recording it all so I could go back and, watch it again and watch it again, just to make sure that I am not missing anything. And yes, it's tiring, and yes, it's frustration. There's frustration, and yes, there is all these other emotions and feelings and experiences that come up. But behind it all, beyond it all, there is just beauty and love. And the possibility of being a witness. I want her to know that I am seeing her. She's being seen. And she's being heard. . and she's being felt.
If you could speak to someone else in your position, like, you know, someone in our audience, what might you say to them? What would you want them to know that would be helpful?
I don't know if it would be helpful, but I would tell them that it's okay. It's all right. Whatever is happening, it's all right. And whatever you are feeling, it's all right. Let it happen. Give it the space in you to be. I would want them to know that we are witnessing the greatest mystery in life. We are being given the opportunity to be a companion to someone that is going through the biggest mystery in life. It is sacred ground. You know how in the scriptures, God says, take off your shoes, you're standing on sacred ground. Take off your shoes, take off your identity, take off your story, take off your expectations, take off everything. You're on sacred ground. Be present. You see, take off your shoes, put your feet on the ground, be present. You're on sacred ground. Not everybody gets asked to be on sacred ground. You're being asked to be on sacred ground. Take off your shoes.
I feel very moved by being here with you in this space, and I'm very grateful. So thank you very much.
So Marina, that's so beautiful. Thank you.